Hello everyone, it's Mr Bennett here. With the new term quickly approaching, I just thought I'd take some time over the next few slides to talk about uniforms, talk about behaviour and expectations, our reward scheme and some of the key points just to help students and to help parents and carers prepare for the start of the new term. As would have been mentioned by Mr Cormack in some previous information, we're having a staggered start back in September, and so we will welcome our new Year 7 students on Friday the 3rd of September. They get a day in school with the staff members but no other year group, so they can familiarise themselves with the building and the routines for the day, which will be excellent, and we're very much looking forward to seeing them. And then please have a look at your year group to see what day you should be back in. And remember, the start of the day, the start of team time is 8:35 AM, but we want all students in for 8:30. That first bell will go at 8:30, ready so they're outside their team room at 8:35 AM, and then we're back to our normal time at the end of the day of 3:05 PM. As was the case last year, each year group had their own entrance into school. We did this because of certain COVID procedures, but it worked really well. It meant the year teams and the pastoral staff could meet the students as they entered into school, and so we're sticking with that this year. So please have a look at which entrance each year team are to enter the school into. And so year 7s will come down the Gamble Avenue where the buses drop you off, and they will come down there and they will wait in the canteen. Year 8s, so the new year 8s will be at the lower Gamble Avenue entrance, so that is the same road as where the buses are, but now down near the bottom, near the Sarah Cowley building, there's an entrance into school there, and they will all congregate on the lower west playground. Year 9 entrance is the Princess Avenue gate, right at the bottom of the lower playground, and they will congregate on the east playground with the year team. Year 10 are also Gamble Avenue where the buses are and where the year 7s are coming in, and their area to wait for the start of team time is the top west playground. And year 11s are the east wing entrance near the science block, near the main entrance, just to the left of the main entrance, and their entrance, they will congregate, apologies, at the top of the east playground. Over the next few slides, I'll be talking about our standards in terms of uniform and appearance, and our high expectations in terms of behaviour, in terms of routines around school. I want every student to look over this a few times and be fully prepared, ready for that first day of term. We've had, as you are aware, a number of disruptive months in terms of learning due to everything happening around COVID. And we're in a position to get back into the classroom and to get to learning our subjects and enjoying our learning again, and we want to do that as quickly as possible. And the quicker we can get back into these positive routines, the quicker we will get back to high quality learning. So please take some time to look over these slides so there are no issues on that first day. Okay, movement around the college. When at the end of each lesson, at the end of break, at the end of dinner time, students will walk quickly and the most direct route to their next classroom. It's important you have your timetable on you so you know where you're going, so we're not wandering the classrooms. Please, the new year 7s, please don't worry, we will show you around. Other students will point you in the right direction to make sure you get to the correct classroom. And I know it seems like it's a big building, but you will quickly get used to it, and there are lots and lots of staff on the corridors ready to help you. For the rest of us who know our way around, you go the most direct route, so we're not late to lesson. There are no restrictions currently, and so you can go all over the building, but you go the most direct route. Students walk on the left hand side of the corridor. We want conversational corridors. So yes, the person next to you walk into class with, you're able to chat to, but we don't want any shouting on the corridors, and we certainly don't want any running about. We do it in an orderly fashion, please. Coats are for outside only, as we know. When you enter into the school building, you take your coat off and you make sure your uniform is smart and you are presentable. If you're behaving well in the corridor, then we will notice. We can sign Cowlean cards and reward you for doing what you should be doing. but we will also challenge those students who are failing to follow college rules, and we may issue some consequences. And remember, when you're inside the building, phones will not be seen or heard. Okay, lunch and break time, we have the canteen and the bistro areas, and you will be told when you're back in school which area you use and when. Please ensure your money is out and ready, or you've done that during break time, you've put money on your account. Line up in an orderly fashion at the area you should line up. No pushing in, no running to the line to get to the front, because you may be put to the back if you're not behaving properly. We eat all our food in the canteen and bistro and don't take it outside with us, and we always clean up after ourselves, ready for the next person to use that table. We are very proud of our building and our school, so we put our litter away and we respect our environment. And when that bell is gone at the end of lunch, at the end of break, you quickly get to your next lesson, so you're on time, queuing up outside the room, ready for the start of the next lesson. I'm very excited to be talking about this, and I'll be talking to the students a lot more when term has started. But this next year, we're classing it as Cowley's Year of Achievement. We want to reward the students, which there are many, many of, who are continually, day in, day out, showing and displaying those Cowleyan attributes. And being good citizens and looking out for each other and behaving as they should behave every day. And we want to reward those students who are doing that. So staff are going to continually catch students who are making the right choices by issuing achievement points, by issuing good scores on the lesson monitor each and every lesson. Students, and I'll be speaking a little bit more about this, will be working towards certain accolades where they get achievement for reaching certain goals throughout the year. I want to be sending lots of information home when students have reached these accolades and reached a certain level of achievement. I'll be talking a lot more about something called class charts in the coming slides, and where students, when they've racked up a certain number of conduct points, can go to the reward store and choose a reward for themselves. This next term will be our presentation evening, where we look back on previous successes from the last academic year and reward those students. There is going to be a big emphasis on displaying students' work around the building. And you may have noticed last year all the artwork that was in the atrium area, and we want to do more and more of that. We want to reward the students for doing the right thing, and there are many of them who do the right thing day in and day out. Please familiarise yourself with the consequence system. Our staff will consistently use the consequence ladder if needs be to help students recognise when they need to make positive changes to their behaviour. So we run from a C1, which is a warning. So a student may need a warning in class just to stop what they're doing if they become distracted in any way, all the way up to a C7, which is a permanent exclusion, which is something we don't want any student to get to here at Cowley. So the students will be familiar with this, but please take some time to look over it again with parents and carers at home. This is our consequence system, and this is how we warn students and help them modify their behaviour so they then go on to make more positive choices. This is a really important slide. It's our attendance ladder. And it's important to say that our Cowley target for attendance for every student is to finish the year with an overall attendance of 97% or above. Now, if you look at this slide, if you finish with 95% and you got that in a test or an exam result, you'd be really pleased with yourself, and you'd be rightfully so. With regards to attendance, if you finish with an overall attendance of 95%, that means you've had an extra 9 to 10 college days off school in addition to the holidays. Now, I know there are times where students are poorly and they can't be in school and they're sick, and they will often have a doctor's appointment or some medical evidence to say, look, I've been ill, and we understand that. However, there are times when students can be in school. They might have a bit of a cold or feel a little bit under the weather or tired, and they can be in school, and that's what we want. We want you to become resilient and be like young adults and muddle through days at times, because 9 to 10 days extra off school is 2 weeks, is 50 hours worth of learning missed in lessons. That's a lot of catching up to do, and it becomes difficult when you return and you may have missed part of a topic and the class have moved on a little bit. Now there's an expectation as well for students to catch up on work missed, but we want you in school each and every day. And as you can see from this slide, the more you're in school, the evidence suggests that the higher attaining grades you receive and the more GCSEs you get. So in school each and every day where possible. For obvious reasons, we don't want students out of lessons and missing learning, and so we often remind students to manage their toilet time appropriately and to go during break and lunch time. As I say here, secondary students should be moving towards becoming young adults and manage the times when they're visiting the toilet, and we do not want this during lesson time. If absolutely urgent, then the staff member, that particular staff member, may choose an appropriate time to sign the student's planner and allow them to go, but this is few and far between, and those students who have a toilet pass, who have a medical reason, will have brought in evidence for that and will have spoken to the year team, and again they would show their toilet pass and the staff member would choose an appropriate time to let the student go to the toilet. But the general rule is students will not be out of lessons to go to the toilet during lesson time. We also have no leave class early passes, but some students may have a pass to avoid a busy corridor if they've got an injury, or they may struggle in some way to get to the next lesson and need some support. Again, the staff member for that lesson will choose an appropriate time, whether they leave a couple of minutes before the end of the lesson or a couple of minutes after, to avoid those busy corridors. But those students again will have a pass that have been issued from the year team. Please take a look at our uniform policy online and also this slide as well. Pay particular attention to the shoes. I know JD Sports and other shops may advertise certain shoes as a school shoe, however they may not be in line with our uniform policy. Make sure it's a black leather shoe that can take a polish. There are some examples at the bottom and left of this slide. What we don't want to do when students arrive on that first day and they're being meted and greeted by the year team is that they're being turned around, or we're having to ring home to say that they need to swap to another pair of school shoes. We know how expensive they are, and so we want it right from the beginning. So please take a look at this slide. Also, all the items of uniform and the PE kit. And remember, with regards to PE kit, there is a new design of PE kit that's come into place from September. However, if you're still using the old design because the kit still fits or it's been handed down from all the siblings, that is perfectly fine. But in the uniform shops in town, there is a new design of kit, and each and every day students' uniform will be checked to make sure they've all got the correct items. Now, the other big one is appearance. I know some students may have had different style haircuts, which may be a little bit more extreme, or brightly coloured hair, may have had some piercings done at the start of the summer, may have had false nails or nail varnish. That all needs to be removed. The hairstyles need to be in line with our appearance policy. No bright coloured hair. Students will not be allowed to start their lessons and their timetable if their appearance is not in line with our policy. All jewellery, all piercings need to be taken out, regardless of whether they've only been done a couple of weeks. I know lots of parents make sure any new piercings are done at the start of the summer so that they can be removed, and we will be asking students for those to be removed. And so I need to be very clear about that, because we don't want to start the year on a negative. We want the uniform and the appearance to be in line with our policy so we can get into lessons and start learning. Talking about phones is another important one. I know during the lockdown periods, the phones are a little bit of a lifeline in terms of communicating with friendship groups and other family members, and perhaps at times using electronic equipment to go into your lessons, your Microsoft Teams lessons. However, it has become for some students an extension of the arm, and they find it very difficult to let go of the phone. Now this is causing problems in lessons and distracting away from learning, and so this is a really important one for school. Phones are not to be seen or heard in the school building. We would like, as you enter through those school gates, when you meet the year team staff, the staff will be telling you to put your phones in your school bag and to turn them off. Now, I know some schools don't have them at all and just ban them off site. We're not saying that. We're saying when you're in a break and lunch, if you want to quickly see and turn on your phone, then that's okay. However, when you're in the school building, that phone is not to be seen. If it is, then that phone will be taken off you, and that distraction will be taken away, and the phone will be placed in student services at main reception, and students will collect this at the end of the day, but they will get a consequence for having their phone with them and their phone being seen. If it becomes a problem for a certain student and they make that mistake again, then again the phone will be confiscated, but we will be asking parents or carers to come and collect that phone, and we will not be giving it back to the student. It's the parent and carer's phone. By law, it's their phone. It's not the students, because they're underage to have a phone. So we'll be asking the parents and carers to collect the phone, and then obviously if anything persists, then we'll be inviting parents in to have a conversation about what we do next, so it doesn't continue to be an issue. So again, this is a big one. We know they've been a lifeline, and we know they're a contact, and parents like students to have them at the end of the day so they know how they're getting home. I understand that. And so we're not saying they can't have them. We're saying they need not to be on the person. They need to be in the school bags, or if you need a school locker, to put them in there, and then to only use them when they're out on the schoolyard. I'll talk a little bit more about equipment on the next slide, but every student is required to have a school bag. There'll be times where they have to take books home and sheets home in terms of completing homework and things like that, and we recommend that the bag is big enough to carry several books that are of A4 size. For comfort reasons, we usually ask for 2 straps, and it to be a rucksack type bag, and we know some students prefer the handbag style. However, we do not recommend those at all, because they're not substantial enough for the equipment that students need to take in and out of school each day, and often they don't zip up properly enough with the school books in, and they're not fit for purpose. So we recommend rucksacks for the students, but every student needs to have a school bag each and every day. I've listed there the essential equipment. I know there'll be times over the next week or so where students will be going out to the shops to get their stationery and everything ready. I've mentioned about a school bag, and every day a student needs to arrive with a pen, a pencil, a ruler, their school planner, which will be issued on their first day they're back in school, their day book, and a calculator. Now, some equipment can be purchased daily during team time, and team tutors will be checking that each student have the correct equipment before they go about their day. But it's important for students to be responsible, to keep their equipment on them, so they're prepared to learn for each and every lesson. I have put some more items down the bottom. They're desirable equipment. I know English in particular use highlighters when they're looking over text, and lots of subjects do that. A sharpener, an eraser. So there are some desirable equipment items near the bottom, but it is essential that students arrive to school with those essential pieces of equipment at the top of this slide. Just a quick note about class charts. If you go back onto the Cowley website, there will be a PowerPoint and an additional PowerPoint all about class charts, which gives you lots of information about it and how to download the app. But I am urging, or we want every parent to have the class charts app and every student to have the app. In terms of students, it's a great way to see how you are going throughout the day, and whether any teachers have issued any achievement points, and to look on the rewards store and to see, well, I hope that's not the case, but to see if any student has got a detention and what date and what time that is issued for. Parents can look at lesson monitors to see every lesson how their child is doing. They will get live updates when they've been issued, when their child has been issued an achievement point or a consequence point, and whether they've achieved an accolade. It is a really great piece of software to monitor the progress of your child and for students to monitor their own progress. So please go back onto the Kali website, have a look at the class charts PowerPoint so you know how to download the app. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me over these slides. If you have any further queries, then the office is open and a member of staff in the office will be happy to answer the queries. It's open each and every day during the normal school hours. Please check your timetable when you get it to make sure you know where your lessons are, which day you need to bring in equipment and which day you need to bring in PE equipment and things like that, and which books you need to bring in. Check planners so you know deadlines for homework. Keep on attending each and every day and make that a common practice. Keep checking the website for any meetings that are coming up. Again, check your uniform the night before so you've got all your items so there are no barriers each and every day you come into school, and continue to first of all download class charts and then continue to look over it each and every day so you can monitor your child's progress and students can monitor their own progress. Okay, thank you for listening.